recording.
I'm recording.
You're recording, I'm recording.
We're both doing
Ritual
the recording.
Complete.
Ritual is complete. Hi,
Oh,
Kate.
we can't keep doing that bit. Hi, Marty.
Hi, listener. This is Romance Writers Therapy.
This is Romance Writers Therapy.
we don't know who does what around here.
We don't.
We don't. How are you doing?
I'm doing super.
Sweet.
I've been working from home for like the last 2-3 days because my boss is working from home. And
Amazing.
It worked out so well because I brought my car to the auto shop on Saturday and then I forgot about it and they said they were going to call me on Saturday evening and then like Sunday evening, they're not even open on Sunday. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about my car.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
have anything to drive to work today.
Oh, thank goodness.
Then my boss was like, I'm not going to be in the office this week, work from home if you want. And I was like, oh my god, thank you that I don't have to explain. I've literally just stranded myself.
I'm sorry, I hear
Pete
crying, and so I'm opening my door so Pete can come find me. Peter!
Alright.
So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so thank goodness she's working from home. Also, like, working from home off of, like, traveling last week is pretty awesome, too.
Oh my god, yeah. It honestly felt like such, like, coming back from Michigan, I was like, I feel so refreshed, and, like, I actually feel like I have a brain. Like, it's like, this is the vacation I didn't know I needed.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. It was so chill.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was actually crying leaving, like, in the airport. I was like, no, I'm gonna miss being here.
I miss you too.
And all these cottonwood trees.
I know. Oh my gosh. And apparently they blocked up your sinuses, so.
Yeah, apparently they gave me, like I could not smell for 2 days. And I was like, do I have COVID? And then the next day, I tested negative and I could smell again. I was like, I feel so gaslit right now.
That is
More
so
reasons
funny.
to stay home and not go into the office.
Yes. But yeah, no, it was so nice to have you here and get to spend time. Jude has also, like, talked about, like, you being around more. It was super cute. She's like, now we have to wait a really long time for Kate to come back. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's so sad. Like, I know.
I keep thinking, like, maybe we could, like, play Minecraft together. I'm like, but she doesn't play on the same type. I play on PC and she plays on PS3? 4?
PS4, yeah. Well, we haven't connected her to, like, chats or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And, like, when you play Minecraft, like, this is completely... like, romance readers really want to know how you play Minecraft.
Yes, indeed.
You can create private servers, which is what I always do. So that, you know, you're not having, like, random people from the internet joining your game and fucking shit up. You know, like, that can be just completely... It's not how I like to play games.
It's not how I want to play games either.
You know? And so I prefer to play with people I know who I know are going to burn down my house on purpose.
That makes me so sad. People.
No, it's so much fun to, like... My brother and I once tunneled under his house and then, like, I replaced the floor with sand and then, like...
That is so funny.
And then it all fell, like, the minute he, like, moved one thing. It was fantastic.
That is so funny. Yeah, but that's different. Like, you're not a stranger doing that to a stranger. You're doing it to your brother, which is, you know, as we know, siblings are fair game. Like, be as cruel as you want with siblings.
Right? And, like, whenever I play Minecraft with Austin, he disappears into the distance. It's like, I wouldn't even know that we're playing the same game together right
That
now.
is so funny.
He just disappeared to the other end of the world, and he's like...
He must go on a voyage.
I'm like... he has to every single time, and I'm like, I thought we were hanging out.
He's like,
anyway,
yeah, we're in the same room, but we are doing different things.
Oh my god.
I've never played with Jude, so I probably should do that. That does sound like fun.
I don't know how you would do it on the PS4, I'm gonna be real.
We have two separate, like, controllers.
If you have multiple controllers.
And, like, she's played on our friend's PS5, like, with her friends.
Okay.
Like, in the same room sort of thing.
Then that's probably possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible. She has asked me to play with her, though. So I probably should make that happen. But yeah,
I bet it would be I bet it would be more fun than, like, doing it by yourself, you know?
Yeah. Well, and, like, I struggle to play the game by myself because I'm like, what do I do? I need someone to tell me what to do. Like, I need an objective. I need somebody to save. Like,
Right.
I don't understand this game. You just want me to build things? Like,
And I can build anything? I can run in any direction forever?
oh my gosh. Speaking, exactly. Give me something more. Speaking of things that Jude is building in Minecraft, her dragon is getting wings, and it's pretty cool. I'll have to like try to take a picture or something. But
She's building a big giant dragon out of, I believe it was obsidian.
I believe so, yes. And it's based on a dragon from the Wings of Fire series.
Yeah, the book she's reading.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. She's a clever little girl.
Gosh. She made a really good dragon. I was like, wow.
She really, like, I don't know how to be objective about my children, okay? But, like, I see the things she does, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I think you're really talented at things, child. Like...
She is. Oh, my God.
Thank you. So, okay. So you're working from home. Your car's getting fixed. How is writing stuff going?
Writing is going a little bit slow. I did, though, turn one of my little desserty projects into something. Someone was like, hey, you want to be part of an anthology? I was like, oh, my God, okay. Whip something up. And, like, I don't know why I always think, oh, no, okay, start something new. Instead of, like, just take something you have, like, a little bit of scaffolding for and, then, like, rearrange some things.
I'm so looking forward to writing today. Like, it's just been so long. But the book Hazel and Elijah Find Out was released. So now, like, you know, I'm still on social media and stuff, but I'm a little bit more chill. And, yeah, I'm just kind of able to start thinking about writing. And I was kind of picturing how I wanted this next scene to go. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting things written. So that's today for me.
We're going to talk about the swoony things we've already written. I know, it's so tempting to be like, and this is the next thing I'm going to write that's swoony. I'm trying so hard not to be like, here's a thing that's not going to be out for, like, at least a couple years.
Okay, but, like, okay. I'm sorry. Apparently I'm going to do that thing where, like, I, like, lead into my thoughts with a lot of, like, okays, but, like, okay. Like, so that's going to happen a lot today. Have fun editing all those out.
You know what? You get one of those because, like, we did start off our phone call with me being like, all right, you know the game Connections? First I'm going to tell you about how the New York Times
how it's disrupting your household
and their subscription model. I'll rant about this for 10 minutes first. And then I'm going to tell you about the game Connections.
Okay. So, yeah, because I was wondering if I should pick a different moment as an example, because Hazel and Elijah, or no, because Remy and Alicia haven't come out yet.
I mean, it's not that far off.
It's not that far off. It should be this year. It just depends on how fast I do everything else. So...
Well, so let's explain our premise.
Oh, do you want to do that? Are you sure you want to tell them, or do you want to just, like, make them guess?
Do you want to just dive into it? Like,
we'll just have a little quiz at the end. What were Kate and Amanda and Marty talking about? Was it A, Minecraft? We'll just do a little quiz at the end.
Every single time I edit these episodes, that is the game I'm playing. Like, all right, what were we talking about?
What was our purpose?
What was the intent here?
That's so funny.
And then I'm, like, taking notes as the episode goes. I'm like, all right, I think I can create a theme out of this.
That is so funny. What a disaster. That sounds like so challenging in the editing process to also be like, okay, what was our purpose?
Like, whenever you interview someone and you say, so and such is here to talk to us about da-da-da-da-da, that is so nice, because then I'm like, oh, right, cool, I have the title and the thesis right here.
Amazing.
But, like, with us, every single time, it's like, hunt it down.
That is so funny. We just bury the hook.
Yeah, every time.
You gotta stick around for it. But we are going to talk about, like, the ways that you bring chemistry on the page between characters.
swoony moments in romance, like
Swoony
moments that just make you go, ugh, and like
Yes.
flutter your pant.
Flutter your what?
Your fan. Oh my god. Your fan? I was like, my brain went, clutch your pearls halfway through the word. I went, no.
That is so funny.
Brain doesn't always have helpful suggestions.
No, it doesn't. It really does not. Not always. This was kind of inspired because of the way Luke... What is his last name?
Oh, I have no
Newton?
idea.
I think it's Newton. I don't know. The guy who plays Colin Bridgerton. And Nicola.
Colin Bridgerton.
I also... Coughlin? Yeah. The woman who plays Penelope. And their, like, press tour. And how we're all shipping them as people. Because, like, primarily the way he looks at her. Right? Like, he looks at her. Right?
Right.
And,
oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like this is the stuff that like launches another like romance book about like celebrities like falling in love, like
Yes.
doing the press tour and like having a fake relationship for the cameras and then like for the publicity stuff and then actually falling in love.
Ugh. It's so good. I love it so much. So, like, that's how this concept came to be, is like, what are the things he's doing? What are the things that, like, what is it about their in-person chemistry that is making us all swoon just watching them talk to each other, right? And how do you bring that to the page? So what do you think, Kate?
There's
how do you do it?
I have a bunch of thoughts, and the first one that, like, is a little off topic as our brand. I get these TikToks all the time that are like, blue nail theory, triangle theory. I'm like, please stop calling everything theory. Like, this is, like, it caught me at the beginning, and now it's like, if I see the word theory, I just swipe away. I'm like, no, you can't get me.
That is so funny. What is blue nail theory?
Oh, I don't know. That was just one of the ones I remembered and named, and I was like,
okay,
throw that away. The one I want to talk about is triangle theory,
okay.
And the way they make it sound like it's this deep psychological thing. It was like, if you're holding someone's eye contact and you want them to know that you're like, or you want to like kind of inception the idea into their head that like you're attracted to them, you want to kiss them, you look like, you kind of go from like left eye to the right eye to the mouth, or right eye to the left eye and then at their mouth. The whole, literally what it is that literally, and the thing is, I think you can see this in any movie that has like a romance, that before they kiss, it's always holding the eyes, look at the mouth, and then go back up to the eyes. And it's like, that's not a theory. But yes, that is a thing you can do to let people know you're into them without saying it out loud.
Okay, but like, I am a mouth watcher, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I'm always nervous that people are interpreting like the fact that like I glance at their mouth as that.
Ooh, as like an overture. Like no. I'm just like,
I just watch how mouths move, right? Which is, I think, maybe not the most like.
I mean, I don't think that's terrible. I used to have like this absolute, when I was in high school, I had this awful habit of just be like, you're talking to me, I'm blatantly staring at your jeans. And it's like, maybe they can't tell, maybe it just looks like I'm spacing out, but I'm like not making eye contact. I am just like, dang, them jeans. I don't do that anymore. I'm trying to make eye contact with people.
You do a good job. You did a great job with eye contact. I did not notice you looking at my jeans either. So it was a phase, Kate.
It was a phase. I was just like, I have to stare at everyone's jeans. Gone now. Gone. I'm a real person.
That's right. Fully adapted human. Okay, you had your triangle theory. Blue nails theory is very interesting to me. But moving on.
Oh, like, I'm sure if you search those words on TikTok, you'll get like a bunch of things, and you'll be kind of like disappointed with like.
I'm sure I will.
All right, that's it.
That's exactly how I felt about the triangle theory, where I was like, yeah, I mean, that's just body language. It's not like a theory.
That's just. It's like, ooh, mirror theory. If you like mirror someone's body language back to them, they'll like you more. Yeah, that's just pop psychology.
This is like the pages of Cosmo come to the internet, right?
Oh my god, for real. Cosmo sex tips, my god.
Oh my goodness.
What the hell were those?
Dude, serious.
Like, the whole, like, and yet they were so, like, they would write the most bizarre shit in Cosmo and then be like, people would be completely normal about it. And
yeah.
I think that, more than anything.
The gaslighting of, like, this is what adult humans do.
This is how people talk to each other.
Yeah. Well, and, like, I remember one of the tips to spice up your relationship
oh my God.
was, like, at a party, sneak away and go have sex with your partner, and then when you come back, everyone will know what you did.
Like, hi? No!
Look, not every party needs that, okay? You don't have to spice up your relationship at the expense of everyone's comfort. Like,
right? Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure you don't want people to know when you sneak away.
Yeah. Well, and like, oh my gosh. There are so many ways to spice up your relationship. I don't think you need to involve your friends without them saying they want to be involved. Right?
Right. Like, it's always, the Cosmo sex tips, like, the thing that, like, or it's relationship tips is really a better, but, like, that word's so much longer. It always came to me as, like, the most vanilla, like, imagination trying to come up with something kinky, but, like, unable to. Like, just can't get there. Like, so you come up with, like, some, like, really weird and, like, kind of boundary overstepping
questionable
kind of
consent.
things.
Yeah.
Right? It's
yeah.
like, oh, no. Don't do that.
Just so much of it also was very, like how to blow his mind. Like, where is your mind being blown in this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very weird.
Always.
Very weird stuff.
It's like, we're never gonna, like, tell you how to, like, effectively communicate with your partner about what you want.
Exactly.
No.
Okay.
We're just gonna be like, swirl your tongue around a little bit. Like,
yeah.
No.
Okay, Kate, we have to talk about chemistry on page.
We do. We do have to. On-page chemistry. Oh my god.
Okay.
I love a good banter, but I think the thing about banter is that it can be so hit or miss, like what someone thinks is like funny banter.
Yeah.
It can feel so forced so easily, and I don't think you can rely entirely on banter.
Well, and I think context matters so much for banter. Like, even banter that I really enjoy in my books, right? As soon as I start looking at them as, like, well, maybe I pull this and put it on, like, a social media post, and, like, I start looking at it, I'm like, ooh, out of context, like, I'm embarrassed, right? Like the context really makes the banter work.
It 100% does. One of my friends who isn't a romance reader loves to send me, like, those ads for, like, reading romance, or, like, that'll be for, like, reading a romance book on, like, KU or something, but it's the most unhinged thing that, like, no lead up, and it's like, okay, I can see why you think this is terrible, because this ad is terrible.
That's so uncomfortable. But, like, also, like, I'm sure the ad works for other people, right? Because I've had people
100%.
pull, like, influencers pull, like, quotes from my books, and I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of embarrassed. But other people are like, oh my god, that's so cute, right? And so it is just, like, such a person-to-person experience. But I think context really makes a difference.
Oh, 100%.
But yes, I think banter, two people communicating in a way that, like, they're both clearly enjoying this really, really sells me on believing that these two characters are into each other.
I see it. I dig it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, little physical things, and so there's, like, one example that I haven't seen Challengers yet, but I saw a clip from it, and it's the guys are sitting next to each other. I don't know their names, but, like, one of them is about to, like, come, like they're gonna sit down at a cafe or something and chat for a while or, like, hang out. And when he sees the other guy approaching, he's already sitting down. He takes his foot and he hooks the rung of the other chair, I think, kind of as the guy is starting to, like, put his bag down and sit down next to him. He's like, pulls the chair closer, so he's gonna be sitting closer, and then, like, it's just this little moment is so cute. And I'm like, I've definitely written that somewhere before.
I have totally written that into an upcoming book. Because I saw something like that. Of all people, it was Nick Jonas and Prisha is his wife, right? Anyway,
no idea.
She's a much more famous person than him throughout the world. But moving on. They're like doing an interview together. And as soon as it's done, he like grabs like her seat that she's sitting on, and he pulls it closer so that they're like sitting close together as they like.
Oh my god!
And it is absolute fire, and the look on her face is like, yes, sir. Like that was a good move, right? And like,
it is.
It is such a good move.
Closer to me.
So delicious, so delicious. And that's one of the things. Okay, so like I think that there's those those like things that you can put on page that are anyone watching would observe, but the things that really like get me is when the character is seeing something like kind of microscopic, right? Like you have your heroine seeing the hero and the way like his hands are resting, or like the way he brushes his hair out of his eyes or something, like those things that are, well, that's kind of not as microscopic as I mean, but like there's just something about like zeroing in on one of your character's focus onto like a pretty small detail and like giving that like quite a bit of room on the page that I think really like intensifies how much the reader is taking in of like their interaction.
It kind of puts them in their shoes, you know, like I like the character whose point of view you're talking from is like zooming in on these things and really like languishing over them. I hope I'm using that word correctly, because I feel like what I have in my head for what languish means and what it actually means are like
might be two different things
enough that like
you keep saying that word. I don't know if you know what it means.
I don't know if I know what it means.
But no, I agree, and it's just like building in a bit more point of view. And, you know, a lot of times you're touching on things that you know that are a shared attraction, right? Like, part of the female gaze is appreciating hands.
Oh, absolutely. And, like, forearms, you know? Like,
Lord help me.
I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I know we said don't talk about projects that aren't going to be out yet. But I gotta tell you what I'm working on.
I'm here to listen.
God, I can't set my own rules because I just immediately break them. So I'm kind of writing... So Logan and Ava, God, spoilers, they're going to be the couple in the second book of the Werewolves Brothers.
That the first one's not even out yet.
First one's not even out yet. I posted on Threads, I was like, I know the first book isn't even out yet, but I need you guys to know that the second book, this guy has, like, such tooth-grinding, like, problems that, like, it gives me tooth-grinding problems. I'm writing about this man grinding his teeth so much, I started doing it.
One of my favorite things is a jaw flex.
Ooh, a jaw flex.
Oh my gosh. Or like neck muscles flexing, or like a bobbing Adam's apple. Get out. That is so delicious. And those are kind of like those like very fine details that I think can really like pull in the chemistry.
Okay. Yeah, I really love those.
But okay, so you're getting jaw problems because Logan cannot stop grinding his jaw?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't the detail I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
That was, like, another detail I just, like, needed to throw in. The detail was, like, I kind of want him to, like, in their first interaction, like, come out with, like, a couple of, like, shirt buttons undone. Like, he was in the middle of getting dressed, and he, like, had to come out here and, like, be a dick. Because, like, they get off on the wrong foot. And I was like, oh, my God, can I, like... Is it too much to, like, have both the, like, the sleeves rolled up and, like, the popped couple buttons at the top, you know? And I'm, like,
it depends on what he's doing, right? So if he just got dressed, like, he just threw the shirt on real quick, and he's, like, doing one of the buttons as he's walking out.
He wouldn't have the sleeves done, you know?
But he could roll them up while he's talking to her. Because that's, like...
I do love that.
Yeah, man.
Rolling them up is such like a, I'm getting down to fucking business. Like, I'm gonna take you to task.
I know.
He's like, I'm gonna speak to your manager.
That is exactly the energy. Like, I am so disappointed in you.
And she's just kind of there like, God, he's hot and I hate him. Like,
yes.
Stop doing this to me, sir.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Especially, like, if he looks, like, kind of hot and flustered and he's rolling up his sleeves because, yeah, he's, like, a little warm, right?
Okay, I'm gonna need to go back and write that in then.
Yeah, I'm really all about that, Kate.
Yourself.
I am now, like, okay, who can be rolling up their sleeves in my book?
And, like, the door jamb lean. Like, oh, let me just lean in the doorway real quick. Or let me, like, touch the top of it and, like, stretch a little. God, kills me. Kills me. You know, because, like, sometimes people talk about, like, Instalove as, like, a problem. I know some people, like, love to have it in their books, but some people, it's, like, such a turnoff. And the thing about Instalove is it's so hard to, like, I think if you don't have a kind of bird's eye enough view of your story, it can be hard to, like, tell whether or not it's too much Instalove. Like because it's such a weird little, like it's such a vague trope. It's like, where's the line between, oh no, they're just instantaneously, like, ready for their HEA.
Yeah.
Or versus, like, they need to, like, take a little time to get there. And sorry, I'm gonna, like,
no, I'm totally listening.
Where was I going? My brain just stopped.
So I'm gonna take the wheel. Is that okay, or do you want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. In my one night stand Christmas novella thing that I got going, right? They kind of they don't have necessarily Instalove, but, like, the attraction is, like, undeniable instantly, right?
Yes. Okay.
And one of the things that you, like, one of the words you used to describe why it worked was, like, he was, like, hypnotized by her.
Yes.
And I think that is a really good way to put it. Like, if I'm going to believe this, it almost has to feel like something has surpassed, like, a subconscious level. And, like, there has to be some sort of built-in emotional connection as well as the physical connection. Like, they kind of have to keep on layering on top of each other, right?
Yes. There's this, like, okay, so I got my thought back.
Okay.
And pairing it with one more thought. So I think what you're kind of talking about, when we talk about show, don't tell, and that's, like, such a weird, fiddly piece of advice because it can mean so many different things to different people.
Well, and it should not be universal. Tell is important for pacing just as much as show is important for immersification. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things that, like, as a rule, it's really hard to know when to apply it because, like, it can be so subjective. But I think when we talk about, like, showing the attraction on page, that's the difference between, like, he's so hot, you know, but, like, oh my god, show me that this character is hot, you know, like, show me that, you know. And here's the thing, maybe they aren't, like, considered, like, conventionally attractive.
Yes.
You know, but, like, I love having a character who's, like, he looks like he's dying. Like, he looks like...
You do love your wafy men, don't you?
Maybe he needs to, like, get a good night's sleep for like, a month.
Yeah.
maybe,
yes.
You know, like, he looks like maybe something's a little wrong with him. Like,
that's
I
like
love that
Thomas Shelby in the first season of Peaky Blinders.
Yes. Oh, my god.
Oh, my gosh. He looks like he needs a good meal. He needs a lot of sleep and less heroin.
Right?
Yeah.
The dying aspect is so important to me. Like, just, and, like, then, like, you don't have to be conventionally attractive as long as you look like you're dying. I'm into it. Which is, like, so I wanted to, like, I keep having these characters. I'm like, I want to describe them as, like, not, like, conventionally attractive, but, like, a little bit grungy. And I think getting into those descriptions, you can build off of this. Like, this character wasn't, like, off, like, the first glance, 10 out of 10 or whatever.
It is so funny. Because that is, like, so the opposite of the man I write consistently.
Yeah?
The man I write tends to either look like he's a good cosplayer at, like, blue collar and can build you shit, or he actually looks like this is a man that works with his hands. And, like, his jeans are a little bit worn in and dirty, and he's, like, you know, flannel man, right? Like, he could chop down that fucking tree for you, and then he could build you a goddamn rocking chair with it, right? like that. It's just so funny how different, because I don't think that the guys you're writing are any more or less attractive than the guys I'm writing. They're just different flavors.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and like I think that is part of like the flavor that you're talking about is like a big appeal of the book, but it's something that's hard to put into words.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of attractive that I'm writing about. But like, so the other half of the thought is that, especially kind of attached to the whole Instalove rant I just went on, sometimes the feedback that you get, I think, and you kind of see it, especially when people will say, like, I'm asexual and I don't really get it when they're like the Instalove attraction or the Insta attraction. Is like, if you just say the character's, you know, attractive, or like I'm attracted to this character, it's like it doesn't feel believable enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes, so the way you kind of counteract this problem that like it doesn't feel believable is like doing that moment of show don't tell and show me the little details kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that's something that I struggle with books in general, where like the guy isn't actually interesting or seeming to be interested in her. He's just hot, and so she's crazy about him, right? And so like,
right? Oh my god,
it's not my thing. I don't appreciate that. I need to see how this is reciprocal, even if and especially if it's like an enemies to lovers, where like the attraction is like, despite all of the character's best efforts to not find this person attractive, it is what it is, and they can't help it, right? Like,
I think
I have been wanting to write enemies to lovers.
Of like, right?
Oh,
enemies to lovers. Like, I was gonna say, like, this is sometimes the problem I have with enemies to lovers is that, like, if I genuinely hate someone, I'm not registering their physical appearance all that much. Like, you could be hot, I won't notice. I just hate you.
I will always notice, and like, I won't want to, but I will notice. Like, I'll give them that. That's a good detail. Like, and it's not just like, it's not just them physically. Like, I can truly dislike someone, but see that they're really good to their family. And I'll be like, well, I'll give them that.
And I think like that's usually the turning point beat on enemies to lovers. It's like, all right, I will acknowledge that you have a little bit of good in you.
Exactly.
And it's like that kind of, but I think like that, what you said before about like, it's almost subconscious. Like, it's like, taking in those details. The reader gets to know this character's hot, but like maybe the main character, or not main character, the point of view character who is taking in these details hasn't like put 2 and 2 together. They're just like, why do I feel so hot under the collar whenever you're near?
Oh, that's so
it's
cute.
Like, it's because I'm angry. I love that kind of thing.
Absolutely love that.
I mean, I think it kind of boils down to like noticing these things in like at a distance, and then noticing like that distance kind of closing. Like, maybe you're watching someone like lift crates and you're like, look at them arms, or like whatever, and you know, you don't say it like that. You
them arms.
All the other nice things. I have this paragraph that I wrote like fucking forever ago, and I feel like it's the hottest paragraph I've ever written. And I keep coming back to it, and like, maybe I could like, because I hoard all my old writing, and I just say, what if I like stole this from like 10 years ago and just popped it in here, and like, if I do that, then I'm gonna forget that I did that, and I'm gonna do it again later.
That's hilarious.
And I'm gonna have 2 identical paragraphs in 2 separate series.
People will think that you plagiarized off of like yourself.
Right? Like, I don't want that to happen, but like, I feel like I'm so vulnerable to that happening because that is my kind of shit.
Wow, she really likes beating this drum. Like,
yeah, oh my god, she just has to like
this exact drum.
Oh, and like, so the paragraph is this girl, she's just like, I didn't even look at this guy twice, ever, and now he's just driving me crazy. I can't sit still every time I look at his fucking hands.
Yes.
And she's just talking about, like, she just keeps saying shit like, his fucking hands, his stupid long fingers, and, like, the bones of his wrists. I'm like, I'm not describing anything that's hot, but, like, the emotion she's feeling when she looks at him.
Like, like, how she resents how attractive he is. Like, how attractive this detail is. Like, the resentment there, like, increases the experience.
And just the way that it sets her off is, like, what I come back to. I'm like, how do I keep hitting this note in everything else.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the things that we haven't published yet.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do.
No. Tell me things that are in your actual books. You say, like, I'm not the biggest offender here. Just
so we know that, like, we do not give ourselves limitations and we just do whatever the heck we want.
Yeah, that is...
There's a scene in the sequel to Hazel and Elijah where the hero is, like, there was a snowfall and the hero's out shoveling snow. Her, like, noticing the steam coming off of his forearms, like, in the early morning sunlight is, like, one of my favorite things ever.
Hi. Insane. Oh my God.
Insane. But one of my favorite...
so you pointed this out.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, yeah, you
okay,
go.
But one of my favorite, like, little reciprocations that kind of, like... There was nothing to indicate for either of them that they saw the other person notice them, right? They both do. But, like, there was nothing to indicate it to each other. But when he's all done, there's a cup of coffee, like, outside his door waiting for him. Aww. And it's just, like, the sweetest little olive branch. And, like, also, like, a little bit of, like, I see you. Right? Like, yeah. Anyway, I need to get to their book again. I have to finish the other book first. I think I need to finish the other book first. I don't want to keep on jumping back and forth on projects.
I know.
Right. But okay, so what were you going to say?
You brought up earlier, pre-recording, a scene in The Orc from the Office. It's very early on, too. I think it's one of my favorite scenes as well.
I love that scene.
When they first, like, she's just kind of elbowed him in the face, and she kind of, like, got all flustered because, like, the blood fever is happening. This is not paranormal. This is a monster romance.
Yes.
Tone's a little wackier. So she leaves, and she's like, oh my God, what's going on with me? And then he's, like, trying to, like, be like, hey, hang on, let me explain. And so then he's in her doorway, and then, like, he's, like...
Of her office at work.
Of her office at work. God, this is, like, a weird, embarrassing scene to, like,
describe.
About.
In context,
though, like,
it is fire.
Describing in context is bonkers. Sometimes I look back at, like, oh God, people read that.
Big fucking mood.
Like, it's also, like, people love this scene, and I love it. And but I'm also like, oh God, people read that.
Oh my gosh, what a mood.
He's just, like, he's breathing heavily. He's, like, so trying, like, you know, he's deep in the fated mate's haze of this, and he, like, grips the door jamb and he, like, breaks it a little bit.
I love that moment.
This is how strong he is, but also, like, this is how, like, unhinged he's starting to feel. Like, he can't not break shit.
But then he doesn't break her. So he's that strong.
He doesn't break her.
And she's just a mere human, and he doesn't break her. So he has zero control over this, like, door frame, but he has total control about how he treats her. And that is a beautiful juxtaposition. Like, I love it.
Yeah, I was going to say my favorite detail actually pales in comparison with what you just said.
Okay, tell me.
Oh, my favorite detail is that he's breathing so heavily and, like, his shirt, one of his shirt button, like, just pops off.
Yes! I forgot that!
And she's just like, oh, let me get that for you.
Yes! I forgot that. I can't tell you how much I kicked my feet while you were, like while I was reading that scene. I was like, oh my God! Like, I was so excited.
Good.
It was so good. Okay, so this is a blast from the past. For my book, You and Me in Quarantine.
Oh my God. Forever ago.
Forever. That was, I wrote it in April of 2020, like, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's free to my newsletter. And I'm just now realizing, like, why don't I throw that on KU? Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
I should do that. So it's free to my newsletter currently, but I don't think it will be for long. Okay, it's an enemies to lovers, and they end up under pretenses. She ends up, like, being stuck at his apartment during, like, a hard quarantine, right? So it's definitely very different than the experience we all shared. It's different. And I never come out and, like, explicitly say anything, like, as far as, like, an illness. So she's at his house, and she doesn't have, like, a razor to shave her legs. The only thing he has are, like, those, like, I can't think of the word right now, but they're not, like, you know, disposable razors. They're like a razor blade that clips in to a razor head, right?
Yeah, like men's razors.
Yes, exactly. And she's like, yeah, I can't get it to do right. And so he's like, well, I could do it. And so there's a leg shaving scene, and it is very hot, Kate. It's very hot.
I love a leg shaving scene, a hair washing scene, a let me bathe you kind of scene.
Yeah,
I love those. I
do too.
Let me help you get dressed. Let me button up your... Okay, here's something that's going to be available soon. There's a scene in...
Kate, this is one of my favorite conversations. Okay, go ahead.
What do you call it? So, Sean's book 1 of the Werewolf Brothers thing, the one that's going to be announced soon. Oh my god. There's a scene towards, I want to say, mid to end of the book, where they're at a boutique and they're kind of trying on, like, different clothes, you know, for, like, to, like, clothes shopping for the wedding, essentially. And she's in, like, the dressing room. They're having a conversation about, like, why they divorced. Like, conversation is, like... And he's, oh god, I love Sean to bits. He's a dumbass. He's kind of like, actually, why aren't we together? And she's like, are you for fucking real? She's like very done with him. But he is just kind of like watching her, you know, the little movements under the door of like her walking around or like kicking, you know, like her jeans away and like getting dressed. And he's just kind of like he's, for the most part, he's paying attention. And then, like, she comes out of the dressing room and she's like, can you finish zipping this up for me? And he's just, like, lost. He's like, oh, no. And then he immediately, like, remembers, like, because he looks at, like, the material of the dress and he's like, this is the only material I know what it is because you had something else that was made out of this. And it drove me crazy.
Yes.
And it's just, I fucking, like, love that moment. It's also a little bit sad, though, because like, she's like, for real, dude, this is why we're not together.
That scene is pretty sad. But, like, also, like, the longing in it, right? The remembrance.
The whole book is just longing.
Yes.
I'm making, like, I showed you all the little graphics I was making. And,
oh my God,
I made another one of the arrow, like, tropes, because I've made, like, 4 of them. One of them is just unhealthy obsession with her thighs. And I was like, that feels like it covers a good 60% of the book.
But no, I love a dress zip up.
Yeah, dress zip up, a little pull your hair to the side and let me put this necklace on you. I love a necklace scene.
Delicious. Now I want to, like, have the reversal. Like, is the reversal... I mean, obviously, like, a tying. But that almost feels immature. There'd have to be an explanation. Tying, like... There'd have to be an explanation why he doesn't know how to tie a tie. Right? I know that not every man knows how, but, like, the internet does exist, and tying a tie isn't the most complicating thing. Right?
It's not, but, like...
Doing it right?
I say this as, like, someone who... has tried to learn off of, like, crocheting and knitting, like, forums on how to, like, move this line exactly like the pictures in the videos told me. It's very hard to follow that shit, you know?
Okay. So, it might be me having a lot of experience working with fabric. That... I mean,
you also worked at a bridal boutique, I believe, right?
Yeah, I did bridal alterations. So, like, I am pretty good at manipulating fabric. Yeah, so it might be a me thing. But if she were to roll up his sleeves for some reason... Oh no! I just thought of a scene I want to write! So this story is nowhere near. Okay, I'll have to tell you off. I just thought of a scene.
Off the air.
Yeah, it'll fit. So...
The way I used to plot my romance novels was literally just, like, come up with as many of these kinds of scenes as possible. Come up with reasons they should happen. Plot comes second. Thirst comes first.
Oh, that is such a good phrase. Kay, are you so proud of yourself for that catchphrase?
I'm a little bit proud of that.
You should.
Yeah, that felt good.
That is so good. We need that on t-shirts.
Thirst comes first.
Plot comes second, thirst comes first. I'm so impressed.
That is a philosophy I write with.
I love it. I fully support this.
Yeah,
I mean, Kate, I could continue this conversation for forever.
Oh, for real. Like, we're closing in on, like, our hour mark, so I think we should wrap it up.
I think so, too. Do you want to give a piece of writing advice?
Oh, God. I think, like, that's kind of all I got. Like, sometimes you don't need a plot, you just need a bunch of miscellaneous scenes where people are a little bit horny in each other's direction.
This is actually something I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah!
Yes! Because, like, there'll be, like, books I'm reading where I'm like, we're kind of meandering. And I'm like, yeah, but the character, like, the interest is building, right? Like, the characters are, like, building. And so it's working, right? And a lot of times it's in very popular books where I'm like, we're going from here to there to here to there. But, like, the reality is we're hitting so many tropes. And we all really love that. We all really love, like, the way certain things tickle our brains the same way every time, right?
Yeah. And like, having little new twists on, like, a trope, like, she rolls his sleeves up for him is... I am going to steal that.
I am too, though, Kate.
It's your idea. You can't steal it.
I steal it back! Watch us release this, like, side by side.
Who wore it better?
Who wore it better?
No.
That's so dark. No. So my piece of writing advice is to paint your nails because it feels pretty. So just do it. You have time. Paint your nails.
You have time, paint your nails. I dig it. I think there's like, you know, there's so much about like how hard it is to do things that don't feel intentional. And like, I think you can really let yourself, like the way you take care of yourself kind of fall to the wayside.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I swear, no, like just for me, like, and I know for you too, like nothing boosts my mood like looking at some really nicely done nails.
Yeah, it makes me so happy.
And like, I feel pretty when I have that on. And even though, like, because I don't do my makeup the way I used to anymore, and I feel so like, in some ways I feel terrible about it. In some ways I feel like just like, no, that's fine. You know?
Yeah,
but
I get
nice
that.
To feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. In the little ways you can give that to yourself.
Well, okay, so like yesterday I went rollerblading, right? Like,
oh my God, yes.
And I was just listening to my music, rollerblading all by myself. I like stole away for 45 minutes, right? Maybe it was 50 minutes. But like, I just... Yeah. Just before bedtime, I was like, Andrew, can I just go rollerblading? He's like, yeah, go for it. And so I was gone for a total of 50 minutes. And I feel amazing. And it was so much fun. Like, and I didn't even like, I knew I was having a good time. But then I got back to the car and I'm like, girl, you are smiling so big right now. Like, just all by myself in the sunshine. Like, just loving my life. And, man, just like taking that little moment, it really helped me in every way. And so, like, if it's not painting your nails for you, like, you have time. Take a little moment for you. Like, whatever it is, listener. Do something that feels good.
Just one last thought.
Mm-hmm.
They did a study that, like, of all the different forms of exercise or activities you can do, dancing is the one that has the most impact on your mental health. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So, oh my God.
It's fantastic.
I keep telling myself I'm going to, like, dedicate some time to... Fuck, I fucked up my nails. I'm going to dedicate some time to dancing just in my house alone with the shades drawn.
I dance in my basement, right?
Aww.
So I'll just have, like, my earbuds in and, like, I'll just dance in my basement. But, like, I think lower the barrier of entry. Right? Turn on one song that you really love listening to and that you feel like moving your body to. Right? And if you feel like doing a second song, great. But if all you're doing is this one song, like, that's great. That's movement. That's like, you increasing your endorphins and taking a moment for yourself. I love dancing in my basement by myself. It's silly. And I literally laugh out loud at myself every single time. Like, every time I'm like, that's so funny. Like, I have so much fun. Yeah, hardcore recommend. It's a riot. Kate, where can they find you?
I'm at kate-pryor.com. You can find my newsletter there. You can find my books there. Yeah, I'm on Threads and TikTok and Instagram. I don't know why I include TikTok because I'm like barely there, but you know, you can at me if you want.
Yeah.
Where can I find you, Marty?
You can find me at martyv.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter there. You and Me in Quarantine's gonna be not available there. I can't tell you how quickly I make decisions sometimes. It's so silly. So if you want...
Well, by the time this is out...
It might not be available.
We do have...
No, I still want to have it proofread.
Yeah?
Yeah, if I'm gonna charge people, even KU, like, it feels like it should get a cleaner copy. So...
All right.
It's also not very long. It's only like 30 some odd words. 30,000 some odd words.
Oh my God, that is way longer than I thought it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh, am I wrong? I think it's like 30,000 words. But you can find me at Marty V Author on TikTok and Instagram. And you asked the question of where I'll be if, like, when TikTok is no longer available to us. I don't know. I don't know where I'll be. Probably doing a better job on Facebook, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, listener, this has been Romance Writers Therapy. I am Marty V, and that's Kate Pryor. And you are listener.
All right.
All right, bye, buddy. Bye.